Going on, everyone? You're live watching us get ready for the LTG Podcast. Pretty cool. We're getting ready to record this thing. Myself, JT, and Doug Mac, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight, aren't we, boys?
Yes, sir.
You know it.
Yeah.
We're just
For those that are asking, yes, this is also Wrestle prediction for the evening. So enjoy yourself. This is a two-pronged deal.
two-pronged.
Yeah, man.
I already started drinking for this episode.
Two-pronged.
Does that mean it's like it goes both ways? Is it like a bisexual?
Not the
Yes.
same thing.
Yes, Ted. That was the joke.
But two-pronged.
Goes
as
both
in-
like a bisexual.
Bisexual.
Two-pronged as in there's two of them. But I do want to go ahead, since you're speaking with a southern accent, or trying to there, John, I do want to apologize for the state of South Carolina.
And Georgia.
Because apparently we're a bunch of morons.
Yeah. Georgia
No,
will
no.
be right behind you, dude.
Did it take for this primary to actually like determine that, or like was it just because of the primary?
Just because of the primary.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, we were the
Gotcha.
first to secede from the Union, too, back in, 18-something.
Right,
That happened.
right, yes, of course, yes.
But South Carolina did bring everyone Pepsi Cola, so you're welcome. It is North Carolina and South Carolina coming together, the Carolinas, baby, to bring you that poison cola.
Coke is better.
I'll tell you what, this is actually our first three-person LTG podcast, so let's see how this puppy goes,
Yeah,
huh?
man.
Yeah.
All right,
Should
are
be.
you ready to talk about some rumors and this weird ass skinny dude that everyone wants to talk about?
Yeah,
apparently.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
that. Vagine.
JT, you ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Vagine!
So remember, guys, you're going to be watching us record this live podcast, and we'll be answering in real time. Let's get to this. Silence, please, gentlemen. Are you ready? Here we go.
The following podcast has been paid for by WrestleReaction.net.
Whenever ratings suck, there's only one guy you can turn to.
His name is John Cena.
And the Gimmick
There's a lot of innuendo in this.
well, I was just gonna ask, was the conception with the face up or no?
Look at we got some kind of connection.
What do you think about What do you think about by tonight? You get Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And his... I can't believe this. I didn't realize you watched
Yeah, no.
a live episode of Living the Gimmick. Didn't you miss me, guys? Didn't you miss me? It's been a while. Johnny Alba here, Doug O'Mac, JT Pruitt. We are just before the Fastlane pay-per-view, and we are live, baby. So if you're listening to this on tape delay, that's your fault. You're missing the live premiere of this program for this evening, and you'll
Yes, it's just a premiere for this evening. You are
for this
correct.
evening. Correct.
Yes.
This evening.
This evening.
We have done this once.
We have done this. I know. I'm saying for this evening.
Yes, for this evening. This
But
is,
it is-
this is the evening-wide premiere. So
But it is the first time you've had a three-person group.
that's
a
true.
Menage a trois.
Menage a
I
trois.
believe it's called.
A Manage 03, as Mr. Carmen would say.
I believe it's called a. I'm not really good in French, but menage a
Menage a cinq.
trois.
As Leanne Carmen would say, a Manage 03.
A manage 03.
We could be a three-man band.
We could be.
We're the three-man band.
Right.
In
Anyhow,
all of our listeners' ears.
welcome to Living the Gimmick.
Table.
This is the pre-Fastlane edition. We are going to be previewing WWE Fastlane, which occurs later this evening. This is currently Sunday at 6:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we will also be talking a variety of other topics. And gentlemen, let's get down to business. Let's not waste any time. People can tweet in their thoughts to the LTG podcast, Wrestle_React, at John Alba, at Doug O'Mac, at JT Pruitt25. We'll talk about it. You could still send in mail call with hashtag mail call. Let's get to it. We start with the big story today, which I thought was a total non-story, and I can't believe that it's something that we have to talk about. But all of a sudden, about an hour and a half ago, they gave us reason to have to talk about this. And that is, something is happening with WWE and CM Punk. It might be the most minuscule of business things. It might be WWE just deciding to lift the barrier, or there might be something more going on. About an hour and a half ago, CM Punk reappeared on the WWE website for the first time since he walked out on the company in January 2014.
Yep.
This coming less than 24 after John Cena, who often trolls on Instagram,
Super Cena troll.
posted CM Punk's Twitter avatar on Instagram.
Which is Paul Newman from Slapshot.
Correct. So, what the heck is going on here, guys?
Does everybody not realize that Punk is still under contract with the UFC?
No, there are a lot of people that don't realize that.
Exactly. He is under contract. If I had to take a wild guess, maybe they just came to some agreement with merch, which would be great. Put him back on the website. He can still make a little money every now and then from the WWE, but I know you never say never in this business, but I don't know, man. I don't see, as long as Vince is around, I don't really see him coming back.
I don't see this whole thing. Honestly, when we saw this whole rigmarole of John Cena posting that picture yesterday, we all just kind of laughed. We were like,
Troll.
What the heck? Like, people are reporting about this. He's just trolling everybody. And then, he shows back up on WWE.com, and now it's just weird. Now it's just what is going on, because we all know he's not wrestling again. Like, he's not wrestling right now.
First of all, he just had back surgery.
He just had back surgery. Why are people online going nuts? Like, oh, it's going to be CM Punk's coming back tonight at Fastlane, and he's going to be at Mania 32. Punk.
Is that what they sound like? Yeah.
Insert picture of Randy Marsh with ectoplasm. It's ectoplasm. A spooky ghost.
Is that what
Spooky ghost came in here.
Is that what Will McCormick sounds like?
CM Punk.
All right.
Sharon. It was a spooky ghost. This is ectoplasm.
Anywho.
Hey, speaking of which, Ecto Cooler is making up.
Yes, I did see that on Twitter.
Yes.
How cool is that? But CM Punk is not wrestling for WWE. Not for WrestleMania 32.
Not anytime.
Not anytime soon. No.
Yeah, this was just really strange.
It's just weird.
And my take on it is that there's probably not even a merchandise deal reached between them. It's probably WWE just decided, you know what, it's time to let bygones be bygones, and remember that he is part of our history, and that he was a pretty important part of our history. And by Cena kind of getting that ball rolling on Instagram, they're probably just like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we've seen WWE.com do stuff like this in the past. And first of all,
also a troll.
WWE.com, how do you guys feel about the relaunch that they did this week?
It looks really familiar.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
It is very BuzzFeed, What Culture, dirt sheety.
Yep.
WrestlingRumors.net.
It's very dirt sheety. It's not even that, man. It's very, here's a bunch of pictures. Click on them.
Yeah.
It doesn't set. It's no longer its own thing. It's not set apart from anything else anymore.
It looks like the app.
It does look like the app.
I think that's what it is. I think they tried to make it, before it's computer friendly, I think it's more mobile friendly than anything else. But this happened, and I mean, we can kill it right now. This is not a rumor control, but we can kill it. I mean, there's no way anything's happening.
No.
Contract. And now here's what is if I had to play devil's advocate here, just for the sake of playing devil's advocate, obviously he just had this back surgery. Maybe Dana White and him spoke, and he said, you know what, I can't do this. This is not going to happen for me. They let him out of the contract without anybody knowing, and then this is what happened. But I don't think that's the case here. I think he just had back surgery, and his debut was pushed back. I think he still really wants to do this.
Hey, devil's advocate. Like, wouldn't that be just nuts? Like, I mean, honestly, wouldn't that be crazy? He's on the cover of UFC 16.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he has yet to have a fight. How nuts would that be if they let him go?
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be insane. The fourth member, hey, we do, BMB is now calling us Vanilla New Day on Twitter. We're the Vanilla New Day.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too. Our fourth member,
unicorn shirts?
our Francesca would be JT's dog in the background.
Yeah, sorry, I think my doorbell just rang and the dog is going ape.
Hey,
ape
your
shit
dog
downstairs.
always makes an appearance, so we're just gonna name it Francesca 3. It's Francesca 3. Francesca
okay.
the Third.
Francesca Trois.
Francesca.
Gotcha.
What's also funny is I can hear my fiance downstairs telling him to shut the hell up.
So we're going ahead here, and we're all squashing this.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
what could they be doing? There's nothing they could be doing right now other than stirring the pot.
Ironically, of all things, if he were to come back, he'd be headlining WrestleMania with none other than Triple H, which would just be unbelievable.
That would
weird world. Oh my God.
referee Scott Armstrong.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely. Oh man, what a world that would.
I would die. I would just. It'd be so hilarious.
Do you know the amount of expletives that Frank Manzo and JT would spout on Monday?
More Frank than anything else.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, just Frank would. Oh my God! If Punk showed up,
these people don't know the words that Frank has for.
Frank can string together a sentence of F words better than anybody I've ever heard in my life.
it would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I would do the same thing. I mean, I would go apeshit. I really would, if that happened.
Well, we try to keep this show a little bit.
Sorry.
JT.
Sorry, guys.
Come on, man.
Gonna have to put this in the. I'm gonna have to put a red E on this one on iTunes.
I'm a sports reporter, man. Anywho, so it actually, speaking of which, before we transition to our next topic, I got a very funny tweet yesterday. I for those unaware, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I've been working for the last 14 days covering the Maine State High School basketball tournament, which is about the biggest thing in the world here, and
so cool.
I was just tweeting out results and game coverage and whatnot, and someone goes, "Listen, I know you're in total sportscaster mode, but like, what time is the LTG podcast dropping?"
Yeah, so we had a lot of different scheduling issues this week. So this is why you're getting this today. But aren't you happy you get to see our beautiful mugs?
Yeah.
You get to see the Rogue stripe. You get to see JT's beautiful hoodie as always. And then, of course, you got John's Adam's apple in full effect. This is.
We haven't even talked about, because I wasn't on the episode last week, my encounter with Billy Gunn. I had another encounter with him. And,
we talked about it on the show.
We talked about it, but I haven't given my side. We'll have to talk about that later. Let's get down to the other thing that everybody's talking about right now. The Undertaker.
Right.
The Undertaker. Okay. Earlier this week, Dave Meltzer puts out a report after all the speculation that it would be John Cena and The Undertaker, that from somebody who has never lied to him about anything before, he said
never swerved him.
That he's never been swerved by this guy.
Yeah.
And it's someone very high up in the company, that The Undertaker's opponent for WrestleMania is set in stone, and that it's somebody not on the roster right now, including John Cena, including Seth Rollins, including name person here.
People on the IR. It's Cesaro, Randy Orton.
Which, by the way, it seems like his shoulder surgery was worse than they thought. So we may or may not get a Randy Orton.
So that would seemingly take John Cena out of the equation in theory. But then all week long, John Cena, again, trolling along, posts another picture of The Undertaker this time on Instagram.
Love it.
Yeah, this afternoon.
Love it.
This afternoon, says that he's somewhere between 0 and 100% for WrestleMania.
Fantastic. Love it. I love it.
And again, logically thinking, we know that this was the plan from about November on, that this was the plan to do John Cena and The Undertaker. And is it going to happen? Apparently, there's supposedly a poster floating around Reddit. We saw it. I can't tell if it's fake or not.
It looks good. Whoever, if it's fan created, it looks good.
that teases The Undertaker and John Cena for WrestleMania. So we all still here think that John Cena is probably going to be The Undertaker's opponent, but let's first address the Meltzer thing here. If it's not John Cena and it's somebody who's not on the roster right now, that gives you NXT guys, that gives you maybe Sting, that gives you someone who is totally out of the equation. What do you guys think?
The Rock.
And The Rock is absolutely...
Yeah, that's... I mean, I'm still thinking it's Cena, but if it's not, the only other person that I could really think is The Rock. It's the only other person that I can legitimately think.
I don't think it's Sting. I know Dave said... I know Frank said, I told you guys it's happening. Like Frank's like,
I told you guys.
And I'm telling you...
It's not Sting.
The guy has spinal stenosis. He's not going to wrestle again. And if he does wrestle again...
Bro, it's not as... Like, they made it sound worse than it actually was.
Well, I was literally just about to say, if he wrestles again, it's clear that he didn't really have spinal stenosis.
Correct.
Because at age 57, you don't wrestle with spinal stenosis.
Yeah, what does he have to prove? He doesn't need to wrestle again.
And guess what? He's going to lose.
Damn right.
No.
And that'll be his third match without a win.
Exactly.
He will be 1-3 all time in WWE.
Yeah, third pay-per-view match, and I can't wrap my mind around that. Like, that would just be awful.
Yeah,
that would be so bad.
I mean,
for someone that would be going into the Hall of Fame the night before.
The only logical thing I can think of is Rock.
I mean, The Rock said he's going to be doing something big at WrestleMania. He's never faced The Undertaker on that stage. If it's going to be somebody that's not on the main roster, which obviously we all still think it's Cena, if it's going to be somebody that's not, don't try to feed me that horse crap about it being Bill Goldberg. I don't want to hear it. Stupid. Don't feed me the crap that this is CM Punk coming back to do a match with The Undertaker again after he just had back surgery.
A name that people haven't really talked about, and I know that we heard the rumors a while ago that he turned down a chance. They could do Batista again. I don't think they will, but they could do it again. Because look, clearly The Undertaker's not retiring after this year. Because if he was, this would have been a much bigger thing.
Absolutely, but let's think about this. In what world does it make sense to Undertaker again?
No, it doesn't. I'm just throwing out names. I'm just throwing out names here that aren't on the roster. It doesn't.
Shawn versus Undertaker 3.
Somebody just said on Twitter, Corporate Kane isn't on the WWE roster.
Oh my God.
This is what I said to you guys. I said that I still, and it's too late at this point, I still think they should have done Lesnar Taker 3 at this show, not rushed it for Hell in a Cell, but they did it for network buys, and then you could have gotten either a Hell in a Cell match or a rubber match here where everyone would have cared about it.
Yeah. Well, you and I both, once the SummerSlam match was over, you and I both said, this has got to be a Hell in a Cell at Mania. Like, this has got to be 3 at Mania. And then we said, well, you know what? They're making it like it's going to be next month. And guess what? It came at freaking Hell in a Cell. We do have, somebody asking us a question right now, Matt, who's always watching and listening, and he's always been a good fan. Will The Undertaker return tonight to set up his match for WrestleMania? Here's the thing, Matt. If it's somebody that's not on the main roster, and I don't see, why would it be tonight?
I think the way it gets set up, and this is, I mean, they made it a really big deal this past week, is the McMahon Award they're giving out tomorrow night on Raw. And there's one of two things. You can go with the McMahon Award. You can go the route with Triple H, give it to him, get him some heat, yada yada. Or
you go Undertaker.
You go The Undertaker, or you go with John Cena, and that's how you just get them in the same place at the same time.
Right. I mean, and that's a good spot too, because I mean the whole setup, and they repeated this like a million times on Raw. Whenever they finally announced it halfway through the show, for the rest of the show, it was the Vincent J. McMahon Award, which Vince said,
give it up.
No one has ever been, at the place, deserving enough of this award until now. But that to me, that screams Triple H, or Vince. But to me, at the same time,
not gonna be Vince.
They could easily do John Cena or The Undertaker.
Exactly.
But until now, like, what the hell have they done in the last 3 months to be until now?
Nothing.
Come on,
It could be Hogan, brother.
Yeah, it's not Hogan.
Could be
I'm
Hogan
just
because they want to bring him back, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Firing him for being
trolling.
Yep.
firing him for being racist and then saying there's nobody more deserving of this
There's
procedure.
there's no more deserving of this, man. I'll tell you something, man. Hulk Hogan.
Coming for you. Such a great clip.
It is a good clip.
I love both.
So I mean, as far as Mania and Taker goes, I still think it's Cena. You guys still think it's Cena.
Yep.
I can't think of who it would be if they're not on the roster. It's not going to be like a Samoa Joe. It's not going to be a.
It's not Balor. It's not Joe.
Not Balor. It's not Joe. It's.
I've seen Angle's name float around there. They're not taking a risk on that. It's never happening.
Angle.
I've seen that name.
I'll say this. Angle is no longer working for TNA, so he is not on either roster right now.
And I've seen his name just mentioned here and there from different people, but they if they didn't clear Daniel Bryan, they're not clearing Kurt Angle.
No.
I can tell you that much.
No, and Nathan White said if CM Punk returned to help Roman beat Triple H for the title, that stadium in Texas would achieve orbit. And you know what? That may be the only way that the fans would pop super hard for Roman. And you know what? They could pop mega huge for Punk helping him, which isn't going to happen. But just fantasy booking here with Nathan White. If that happened and the stadium did, rise up off of the ground and achieve orbit, and they're sailing into space with Neville thrusting it up underneath, flying into orbit with his stupid purple cape.
Because he's like a mouse.
Because he's like Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. And he's got AT&T Stadium on his back, and he's soaring up like Atlas. Like Atlas. He's going up in the atmosphere, and all of a sudden CM Punk, helps out Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns looks at him and drills him with the spear, and boom, instant biggest heel of the year. Biggest heel of the century. If CM Punk comes out, helps him win, and then he destroys CM Punk. That would be the most amazing
would be pretty dope,
turn
though.
ever.
I'm not quite sure how Tony Atlas fit into all of that.
I said like Atlas.
Well, this is what happens when you have a live podcast.
Greatest tag team of all time. Me and Rocky Johnson.
Just don't walk barefoot around him. Don't walk barefoot. Don't walk barefoot. Okay, hey.
I got too much too soon.
We got Fastlane starting in just a little bit, so let's get down to our predictions, since our predictions always take forever with these things.
We did it.
This is your go-home pay-per-view before WrestleMania, with the promotional photo featuring Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and none other than Eva Marie. Your pre-show match, is Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which should be pretty good.
How long are they going to get? 9 minutes?
No, they'll get 7.
It better be from 7:30 to 8.
You're right.
They'll get
It
anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes for sure.
Oh,
I
I don't think so.
think so. I think they're getting at least 17 minutes.
I hope so.
It needs to be that. I'll tell you that.
It has to be. But I'm saying 10 is what they get.
10 minutes for a 2 out of 3 falls.
No way.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No way.
The way they book these pre-shows, 10 minutes.
No way.
I hope
no
I'm
way.
wrong. I'm
No
hoping
way.
I'm wrong.
Because why make it a 2 out of 3 falls match?
Because logic.
Nah, I am the grand master of slinging WWE logic all over the place, and I don't even think they would do this.
I hope not.
I think it's 20 minutes at the minimum, and I think that you got Kalisto holds the title.
Yeah, I think Kalisto keeps the belt too.
Yeah,
How long they get it.
it makes sense for Kalisto, but this whole U.S. title hasn't made a whole lot of sense as of late. Plus, Sin Cara is back now, so and maybe they take it off, but I don't see them.
That's the only.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in the back of my mind that says maybe they don't think Kalisto has gotten over with it enough, and maybe they rip it right back off and put it on Del Rio because Sin Cara's back, and they need a tag team.
Yep.
But I'm still not sticking with my pick as Kalisto.
I'm gonna go with Kalisto as well. Let's go on to the Divas Tag Team match between Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks versus Team Bad. I would imagine that Becky Lynch and Sasha should win this match, but you can have them lose if there's dissension.
I believe that if there's any kind of shenanigans in this match, it's Cameron coming out to join Team Bad, which would lead to Becky and Sasha getting the win via DQ. But I honestly think we're gonna get Naomi and Tamina tapping out at the same time. With
that they're both powerful, and
yep.
Yes.
Becky's got the disarmor, and Sasha has the bank statement on at the same time. They both tap, and then maybe they turn to each other and give each other a good stare down.
Yeah. I'm going Becky and Sasha here. That's to me, there's no other way. And then I think at the end of it, I don't know if we get some tension. I know we're going to have tension. I don't know if we get a full out brawl between the two. But maybe they do the stare down thing, which I would like, and then obviously lead us into Mania.
It certainly seems like we're going to get the triple threat of Mania, which
I'm not mad
Kudos
at.
Kudos to that booking.
Yeah, they smartened up. And so let's go to that match now. Charlotte and Brie Bella. We heard this past week that Brie is on her way out. She confirmed it in an interview with Good Morning America that by the summer she will be retired. Maybe this is the last match she has. Who knows?
Very possible.
It's funny when you look back on the career of Brie Bella, because the first run of the Bellas was virtually useless.
Oh, it was bad.
They served no purpose. Brie, people forget this. Brie was Divas champion long before Nikki was.
Yep.
And didn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. She wasn't very good. They come back. They do the whole Total Divas thing, and they both improve dramatically. Probably at this point, Nikki much more so than Brie, but still Brie had a lot of moments in this run where the crowd was very much behind her. There's been just as many moments where the crowd could not have cared less, but keep in mind, this is
7 losses in a row on TV until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my favorite, that GIF of her kicking Paige is still among my but keep in mind, this is the woman that had a main event match at SummerSlam with Stephanie McMahon.
Yep.
So Charlotte will, in all likelihood, go over Brie Bella here. And I mean, what do you guys think about Brie? If this is her last high-profile match, what do you make of it?
I applaud her, and I send her on her merry way to go make kids with Daniel Bryan.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, she wants a family. Have fun. You've made
Kudos.
Made money. You're famous as hell. You've got a lot of respect from a lot of different people. Go have a family.
What do you
Kudos.
think? What do you think happens to Total Divas with her out of the company and Nikki on the shelf right now?
Nothing.
I still think they're gonna have them on the show.
Yeah,
definitely Nikki.
because they're the faces of the show.
Yeah, and they can easily start putting that around. Obviously, E wants the Bellas because they're the most like the Kardashians. But you could easily turn that show around to where Paige is the.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch the show, so I can't tell you how.
I watch it.
I was about to say, I got you talking about Total Divas for a good minute here.
I realized that, and that's why I said I don't know and I don't care. I don't know how Paige is looked like, how she's booked on the show, so I can't say they could easily do that or not.
Yeah, I could really see them doing something at Total Divas where, they still focus a lot on the girls in the business, but then still focus a lot on Daniel and Nikki, or I'm sorry, Daniel and Brie outside of the ring with what they're doing with all their vegan food restaurants and stuff like that. So I don't see them going away by any means, because Nikki and Brie are. I say Nikki more than Brie is the Total Diva feature.
They have to change it to Wrestling Wives.
Wrestling Wives.
So Charlotte, we imagine, will be going over here now.
Yes. Yeah. There's no way she loses the belt to Bray.
No.
I'll say this: it was not a bad segment on Raw.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it was one of the better ones. I thought.
No, I wasn't mad at it.
I thought Charlotte did well on the microphone, and then we had a good nice little scuffle. It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't mad at it.
The yes kicks was over.
Yep.
Of course.
That was good stuff. Okay. KO, your new Intercontinental Champion, versus Dolph Ziggler. They're not putting the belt on Dolph Ziggler because if they were going to, they would have done it on Raw.
Correct.
Yep.
So that's not going to happen, but this will be a good match.
Very good.
And at least it makes sense now that Ziggler beat Owens a couple weeks back.
Yep. Because he looks
Yeah.
credible as a contender.
Yeah, I mean they have booked this Kevin Owens Intercontinental Championship run, I guess you could say, very well. With him losing to Ziggler, Ziggler's credible, and then putting the belt on Owens is the right move going into Mania.
The stars are aligning here, Doug.
Yes, they are, my friend. Yes, they are.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah, I mean I've said that for 3 months too.
I've said it since effing
Oh,
July.
I know
Or
you
May
have.
even.
Yeah, I know you have, but I mean now it's more prevalent. You know, Sammy's reaction at the Rumble was fantastic. Fantastic.
You know, I just got a tweet from at Big Ten Roast, which is Pro Wrestling Talks on Twitter, and he said, "You mentioned John Cena one more time, I'm gonna punch you."
He's got a. You didn't know that he has a fist on Twitter?
Hmm.
Do you know that he mentioned John Cena by tweeting that at me?
He did. So why don't you punch him with your Twitter fist?
Twitter fist.
That's a sweet metal band name right there.
That is good.
Twitter fist.
Not exactly Testicular Town Express, but it's not bad either.
Okay, it's a lesbian metal band. Touche.
So Kevin Owens will in all likelihood win this match. How many minutes does this one get? I'll say 9 minutes.
12.
12.
Yeah, I was gonna say
12 to 14.
I was gonna say
12 to
14. I was gonna say 14 tops.
Because it's gonna be one of the longer single male matches.
That's true. There's not a lot of. I mean, the New Day aren't on this card. They're getting interviewed by
Edge and Christian
Christian
on the show. That's not even kickoff. That's on the show to promote the show after the show.
But I wonder if that sets up anything.
It would be interesting.
It could.
Because
It absolutely should, in my opinion.
Edge and Christian are coming back.
No, not happening.
I'll say this:
If you mention Edge and Christian coming back again, John, I'm gonna punch you.
Bro, Edge and Christian, they were.
Bro.
Let me tell you this though: if in some distant world where Edge and Christian could physically wrestle, I would
I'd love
a program between the New Day and Edge and Christian. That would be relentlessly entertaining.
I would
love it.
Program between any of the old good tag teams in the New Day.
Well, the Dudleys did that, and it didn't work out all that.
Oh, well, now we've got good Dudleys. So maybe that starts tonight with the Dudleys interrupting New Day and.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I figured it was going.
You got Bully Ray again. You got
That's right.
I'm good with that. I'm good with it.
Deadly Devon. Is that a good one? That's pretty 80s, right?
Deadly Devon.
It's pretty
Deadly
true. Yeah.
Pretty 80s, yeah. So that's going down there. No tag team championship match on this card.
Nope.
You though have a tag team match. And we actually had Ed, I think it was, tweeted a brilliant photo at us today promoting this match. Ryback, Big Show, and Kane versus the Wyatt family, and the photo was like the graphic they used for the match, but every person's face had been replaced with Braun Strowman. and that included Kane, who still had the mask on but had the big Braun Strowman eyes and beard. And
That's great.
it was pretty...
Yeah. Who do you think goes over in this one, fellas?
I would say Braun Strowman.
Yep.
I would say he gets the final pinfall for sure.
I was thinking about this earlier.
The final pinfall, he's the reason for the final pin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he will do something on Big Show, and they will say, "Oh, look at the strength," and
Look at this monster.
Yeah, this is a
He's got the giant! He's got the giant! You know, Michael Cole's got to say it twice, so...
correct. Good job. You've
Yeah.
learned. And then, this will just be a way to get the Wyatts on television tonight. At least get them on television and show how dominating they are. Complete waste of a match. Horrible, horrible decision to put this on last for Monday Night Raw.
Terrible.
Yep.
But we all know when Vince panics, he goes to the Giants.
Look at him. He's huge.
I mean, he makes
And Austin, it was so funny because Austin on the podcast really tried to put it over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I like that. It was a good old wrestler scuffle back. It reminded me of that. I was like, oh,
Man, I'll tell you one thing, man. I wanted to hear that glass breaking. I wanted to make a run down to the ring. Let's go run in. I wanted to whoop some ass.
And you're like, man, Stone Cold, if you could run in on anything, that would be it. Like,
Yeah. All the Giants are coming out, and Kane comes up through the ring, and they're still, Braun Strowman runs over and stomps Kane back down in the hole, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, I wanted to give it an old-fashioned rundown. You big son of a bitch.
I was like,
Ranch IPA right there.
it was a pretty good podcast.
Swigging a beer for the working man.
Swigging a beer for the working man.
Pretty good podcast, no?
Loved it.
Oh, it's
Loved it.
fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Really made you appreciate Big Show. Big Show gets a bad rap.
In a time where it's hard to appreciate the Big Show because I love that he accounted for all of his face and heel turns.
Yeah, I love that.
He outright said, when Austin said, how do you feel about how you've been booked in this company? Have they utilized your strengths? He said, no, I haven't been booked well. So, I love that.
But he said, I'm a company guy.
Yeah, because he loves the business and he loves what he does. I mean,
He had more turns than NASCAR.
Yeah.
Turn left.
That was the line. More turns than NASCAR.
I'm going to turn left, and I'm going to turn left again.
I'm going to turn left again.
Yeah, he was good.
Magic seal.
A lot of good sympathy. I like the stuff about Mayweather. They weren't talking about that. It was
good.
Yeah. Okay, so that leaves us to the two matches that probably everyone is looking forward to on this card. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. This is the rubber match.
Rubber.
And
Rubber, hardly knew her.
yeah. And what do you make of this? Because we should get something. I still think this is your WrestleMania match. I still think they build this towards Mania. I don't. It's a long build because today's February 21st, right? And
Yes,
you have April 3rd is WrestleMania. So
Yeah, I mean, they could.
This started the night after Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't think of any other reason Jericho would have came back because he has said it. He said the only way I'm coming back is if I'm going to work a program that I'm really interested in working.
Yep.
He said it multiple times.
So they're like, here, you wrestle one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's like, all right.
All right,
Plus, he's always he said it on the podcast. He's always wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
So
On both podcasts they did.
Yeah.
I imagine AJ goes over here.
With the Styles Clash?
Tonight
Or is it
or
banned?
Mania? I mean, I would think he'd have to do it. I feel like he'd have to go over tonight to get to Mania.
Yeah, I would not hate him rolling up Jericho tonight for a win and Jericho just losing his mind.
It would be nice because that's how he won the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
or something controversial that causes Jericho to flip the switch.
Let me tell you something. If Styles makes Jericho, I mean, it could be that he hits him with the Styles Clash tonight, and then we get a submissions match at WrestleMania.
And that's what I
I quit match.
I proposed that to you guys a month ago. That when this started, I'm like, oh man, I would love to see a submissions match between this guy. and
I'm
they've
good
been
with
pushing,
that.
They've been pushing the calf crusher.
Yeah. I mean, Jericho is the man of 1,004 holds.
Bar! Yeah, I totally believe AJ Styles goes over tonight. I don't know how,
Yeah,
but
I
he
think
does.
so too. Yeah, I think he wins with the Styles Clash.
There's one scenario that he doesn't, and it's perhaps if the Miz got involved.
Okay. Wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, but
Miz has done great work.
And they could do a triple threat at WrestleMania. Oh yeah, I mean, the underrated star of this program has been the Miz.
Yes.
The Miz had a fantastic match with AJ Styles on SmackDown, and then had a fantastic match with Chris Jericho.
I just don't see them doing 2 triple threats at Mania.
I'm not calling a triple threat for the record. I'm not calling a triple threat. I just think that you can use Miz to get Jericho over as a heel.
Yeah, I just don't see. I mean, I think it would be great. I just don't see them going towards a triple threat at Mania if they're going for Sasha, Becky, Charlotte. I don't see 2 of them. That doesn't.
We're getting the Shield triple threat this year too. You didn't know that?
Ah, that's right. Seth Rollins is coming back tonight.
We were supposed to get the Shield triple threat.
Anywho, we won't go there. Anywho, yeah.
Thanks, Seth.
How many minutes does this one go? I'll say this one goes 16.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
15 to 18.
this match and the Owens Ziggler match, actually the Owens Ziggler match, because I forgot about this match. Owens Ziggler may be 9 to 10 minutes, and this one may be the one that goes almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it should be great. It could be.
I hope so.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be showstopper because I do think the triple threat is going to be excellent, the main event. And
I did too.
I think it's going to be great.
let's talk about the main event right now. You got Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. The last time Brock Lesnar was in a legitimate triple threat, not counting the WrestleMania 31 one, was Royal Rumble versus Seth Rollins and John Cena in
Match of the year.
one of the greatest triple threats in the history of the company.
It's great.
So,
And, match of the year.
So we have Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar here, and the writing on the wall is that Roman Reigns wins this thing. The Wyatt family takes out Brock Lesnar, and Dean Ambrose takes the fall. But is that how it's going to be booked, boys?
The graffiti over that writing says, "Crowd will boo Reigns when he wins match tonight."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like purple and pink font.
Yes.
That's what I've been thinking since this has been booked, and it kind of it sucks. I don't want to see Roman.
The crowd has never been more into Dean Ambrose, and they have made him look. And I'm going to steal the word of our buddies Dave and Brian. He hasn't looked more like a geek than he has over the past couple weeks.
It's been ridiculous.
Yep.
Again, this is the only company that I know of when someone is doing a fantastic job. I mean, let's face it, an entertainer in WWE, your job is to get over with the fans. That means you either get them to hate you or you get them to love you. And Dean's job has been, hey, I'm making the crowd love me.
Yep.
I've never seen another company that consistently stifles their employees like the WWE. Because if you're not the guy they want to get over right now, they will make sure that you look like a complete idiot.
Yep.
It's crazy to me. So Barrett, Cesaro. This is now the 2nd or 3rd time with Ambrose. I mean, it's baffling. It's really baffling. It's crazy to me.
Can you imagine if Ambrose loses this match and then he's in the freaking Battle Royal at WrestleMania? Because I don't know what else he'd be doing.
That's.
No, he does get a rematch for the IC title.
If he wants it.
Or, if he's not too busy turning heel on Reigns because they don't have any idea what to do right now. Now they'll sling that WWE logic at you. It makes zero sense.
Is there any chance that is not the route they go?
There's always a chance. There's always a
realistic chance. A realistic chance.
I think up until 10-15, there's a chance.
I mean, by God, Reigns was the guy to win the title at WrestleMania until the show, until halfway through the afternoon.
Yep.
Until halfway through the show. So, no, I'm not, there's always a chance.
I'm saying a realistic chance that
Ambrose, there's always a realistic chance.
Turns out as a heel out of this. I don't know.
I've asked for it for over a year, so there's always a realistic chance, and this is the beauty of wrestling. You always go in, especially us smart fans, we always go in going, this is super predictable. The predictable is not always bad. They may throw a wrench in there, but it's not going to be a wrench like Ambrose wins the match. Everybody's saying, well, do you think they switch it up to where Ambrose is the guy facing Triple H?
Nope.
Hey, by the way, some breaking news here. Mauro Ranallo's calling the pre-show tonight.
Yeah, all right.
Good.
My boy, MR.
Good.
Very cool.
MR's my boy. Love that kid.
Yeah, real cool. The kid. Real cool. Okay, so we have Roman Reigns winning? No?
Yep.
Yes. Hopefully turning heel, but there's, like I said, 0.5% chance that happens.
Probably not going to
happen. We have the Wyatt family getting involved here or getting involved?
Absolutely.
Yep.
How else do you get Brock out of there without making him look hurt? Like without making him look weak? How do you do it?
I would agree with that. I'll tell you, man. Tonight's show goes off the air with crowd booing.
They're in trouble tomorrow.
We got a problem. Yeah, you ain't kidding.
They're going to be if the crowd goes if it goes off the air tonight with the crowd just booing the living crap out of Reigns if he wins, they've got a real problem going into tomorrow night.
I don't even think it's as much them just booing Roman Reigns. I think it's they want Dean Ambrose to win, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that it's not just booing Roman Reigns.
Right.
They want Dean Ambrose to win.
You know, remember they did this with Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan was getting super over. They tried to stifle.
Yep.
It didn't work. Now we'll see if Dean Ambrose is as over as it seems like he is. Because if the fans go ape, we'll see what kind of situation we're in. But I'll tell you this: it does not matter. Here's the deal: it does not matter if the fans boo.
Yep.
Roman Reigns will still be the guy that walks away from WrestleMania as the champion.
Yeah.
They're not going to change this plan again. Vince is not letting the fans screw over his plans for WrestleMania 3 years in a row.
And here is the amazing part about it, that when all is said and done, when he walks away as champion at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns will be a 3-time WWE.
Yeah. I said that the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, he will be a 3-time champion already. Just because of
gold jacket,
he's been
green
booked.
jacket, who gives a sh?
You want to talk about devaluing the whole 16-time thing?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Right there, my friends. Hey, let's get to one of our favorite topics here on the LTG podcast. It is time now for the rumor control. All right. So this one came in towards the beginning of last week, and it goes like this. Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, King Barrett, whatever you want to call him, the bare-knuckle brawler, the British brawler, Stu.
I've got some bad news.
He's on his way out. His contract expires this summer. He's done. You guys buying it?
Yep. Absolutely. I think he's about to go make some major money on the independents if he goes to Japan, wherever he goes.
I'll tell you what, JT, I don't know if he's going to wrestle again.
Think he's going Hollywood?
No.
I think he may go MMA, and there's been a lot of reports lately that there is a superstar backstage that's looking at the options of going MMA, and I think that Wade could be that guy.
Yeah, wouldn't be mad at it.
Whether it's MMA or whether he just gets out of the game, whatever it is, I think he might be done with wrestling.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, and it's a shame. Again,
So talented.
really talented dude that the WWE stifled once he started getting over, and they didn't want that to happen.
Well, you had the Nexus stuff, which the reason that stopped is just because it became all about Cena, and it was not about the Nexus guys, which it should have been. So then you bring him back as the bare knuckle brawler, and he has this great program with Orton in 2011.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it was really good, but then he got hurt, so that stopped. He was supposed to win Money in the Bank 2011 at one point. They changed that to Daniel Bryan. Then you had him flip-flop the Intercontinental Championship a few times.
With The Miz and everyone else.
And then he came back as Bad News Barrett, which got over beyond organically.
So hot.
And they're like, no, you know what? You're going to be King of the Ring.
And we're going to do absolutely nothing with you except put you in the waste of nations.
We are the waste of the nations.
So I'm buying that Barrett's out. And he kind of alluded to it on social media as well. Rather than denying the reports, he just kind of said, you'll know more in time.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm buying it. I think he's out of the WWE. What he does from there on out, I wouldn't be mad if he went MMA at all.
Hey, if he's done, he's done.
But for someone who is so injury prone, I'm not quite sure that MMA is the best idea.
Yeah, maybe not.
Just get him a Z-Pack.
That'll work.
Hey, As I worked through this 2-week tournament, I went on Z-Pack twice.
Do you still have a staph infection?
I have this weird bubble growing on my arm. It actually started growing on my neck. Do you see it?
Yeah.
I see it. You need to get that cut out. Z-Pack will do.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You know what I was thinking though? Like, I know we're back on this topic, but holy crap. CM Punk is still like the lawsuit is still active between Dr. Aman and him.
Yep.
Like what? I can't wrap my mind around the fact that he just popped back up on the website.
Yeah,
It's
I think
so weird.
when John put that in our little chat, like, all I said was weird because I don't.
It's not like he's in the alumni section.
Yeah.
No, it is the alumni section.
Oh, is it?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
on the link it just says superstars
Yeah.
/ CM Punk.
No,
Doesn't say alumni.
It is the alumni section.
Okay, that makes sense then.
He was not on the roster. Period. He was not there at all.
Right.
From when he left to now.
Right.
I mean, you remember the day after he left, they did a full-scale scrubbing
Yep.
of,
Everything.
and every now and then you'd see him pop up on the network. But that was it.
No. It wasn't until like getting closer to that March thing.
They did a full-scale scrubbing, and then the March stuff happened, and it was from that point on he was never mentioned again on television.
Well, it was after he was released. So from January until that June or July, whatever it was. June, I do believe.
Well, he said he was released on his wedding day in June.
Correct, so June 14th. So he was released in June. It was right after that they finally on the website announced that they had released him, wished him the best in his future endeavors, did a whole back, pretty much the same article that's in his bio now is what they released as who CM Punk was. They had him in the alumni section. They had certain merchandise still for sale, and they promoted Best in the World on the network because it was going to be airing that Tuesday night.
How ridiculous is that?
And then it came out that he wasn't supposed to be part of the video game, and then he, sent the legal papers, and then it was just bad after that. And then they took him back, they scrubbed him back off.
With his Jewish lawyer.
Yeah. Hey, the Jews got to eat.
Phil Brooks.
All right, let's get down to business here, Duggo. It's all you, my man.
Mail call!
You know the drill. You send us questions to @the LTG Podcast on the Twitter machine or @Wrestle_React, @DuggoMac, at John Alba. You can find us on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Send us questions, we answer them. Now that we're live and we've got a few more minutes before the pre-show starts, let's go through some. Hey, Greg Taylor. He says, what will Dean Ambrose's creative plans be at WrestleMania? We just hit on that, but I mean, what do you guys realistically think Dean is doing at WrestleMania?
Battle Royal. I really do.
God awful if that's
I'm still holding out hope that they're gonna do a title match, a ladder title match, maybe throw it into with the U.S. title match, and he gets into that.
I don't know.
I don't want that, but that's kind of the only thing I can think of right now. And I'll speak on this in a few seconds too.
I have no
get to our
idea.
next part.
What in the F? I have no idea.
Battle Royal.
No idea. I mean,
No.
Battle Royal may be the only place that it makes absolutely no sense.
I know.
It's the ultimate
I know.
WWE logic. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a shame if he is.
I don't know. All right. Jason asked, if we get Triple H and Reigns and Wyatt versus Lesnar at WrestleMania, which do you guys guess would have a better build or storytelling?
Wyatt Lesnar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been going for how long?
Well, Triple H Reigns has been going for a very long time.
I'm talking about how the actual good building of Wyatt and Lesnar,
Yeah.
as opposed to the Triple H thing.
Just because we'll get Paul and Bray talking.
Paul and Bray on the mic will be very, very good.
I don't.
Very good.
Here's the issue with Triple H and Reigns, building for the next 5 to 6 weeks towards WrestleMania. You have no idea what they're going to do because they have no idea what they're
Well,
going
it's not even that. We've seen it. We've
to do.
seen
The same authority bullcrap we've seen for 3 years, John.
Yeah.
3 years. Let that
I'm
sink.
done with it. It needs to end with this. For the love of God, end Triple H and the Authority here, and allow Roman Reigns to become a huge heel at WrestleMania, and let's move on, please.
Agreed.
I'm done with the Authority. I don't think their program is going to be better than, say, a Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, say a Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, because I honestly believe they're going to be waffling back and forth of what to do creatively, because they're going to try to get heat on Triple H, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Chris says, and John, I'll let you answer this first. Chris says, odds on Bram being the Undertaker's WrestleMania opponent.
I mean, I just read that he re-signed with TNA, so
I did too. Where did you see that?
it was all over the internet. But
Bram?
But yeah,
Charlotte's ex-husband, Bram.
yeah. I mean, he had
Bram Bigelow.
he had the problem with the law, but he's okay now. And I just saw that he resigned, so I don't know if he'll legally be able to participate in such a match.
80s new wave band, Bram!
Yeah,
Exclamation point.
Bram. I love it.
I do the jitter Bram.
Yeah, Bram.
Jitter Bram.
What you hit a Bram? What you hit a Bram? You got my Bram into my Bram! Yeah, I mean, it's Bram. Okay, well, that's cool.
Bram.
Josh says, who do you think wins the Vincent J. McMahon Award? We already talked about that. With Taker having a mystery opponent at Mania.
So
Could it be Sting, Goldberg, Angle, or Balor? No.
None of them.
I mean, it could be any of them, but it's not gonna be.
I don't.
I will be shocked, legitimately shocked, if it is Sting.
I will
Yeah,
too.
I will too.
too.
And if he does have spinal stenosis, I don't want him to get in the ring.
I agree.
Like I legitimately I was a Sting fan growing up because I watched WCW. I don't want him to get in the ring.
You being in Georgia, watch WCW. I'm shocked.
Shocker, right? Shocker.
Man.
Shock
Scott says,
master.
with all the injuries, do you think Ziggler might finally have a one-on-one match at WrestleMania this year?
No.
No, I think he's in the frickin' Battle Royal.
Yep.
Just saying. Let's get real. Let's get real. Zach says, do you think Ambrose has any shot of winning tonight?
I mean, he has a shot, but
I think he has 0% chance.
I mean, I think
There's more of a percent chance of Roman turning.
I think he's got like a 10%.
I agree with that, but I still think the odds of Dean winning are larger than the odds of Brock winning.
Oh, I'll give you that, but that's...
Which I think is a statement that needs to be said.
Okay.
Ironically, this year would have been such a better year to do Lesnar and Triple H than in 2013, no?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Match would have been so much better.
Couple more here, and then we're moving on to our top five. Hey, do you think Fatal 5-Ways should be more of a thing in WWE?
No, because I hate the name. I
It
hated it.
was a cool match, but you don't want to oversaturate.
Fatal
No,
5-Way.
I like the
Open
match.
tonight for Twitter Fist.
I liked the match itself, but every time Cole said Fatal 5-Way, I cringed. I just don't like it. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Hey
But
guys,
no.
we're Fatal 5-Way. Tonight we're opening for
Twitter Fist.
Twitter
All right,
Fist.
all right.
Hey, all right. One last thing. Khalil says, has WWE over-teased the Ambrose heel turn? Could Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose both pin Brock? And we have a triple threat
I'll tell
plus
you
heel
what.
turn for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32.
Both Reigns and Ambrose pinning Brock would be very interesting, except Brock isn't getting pinned, so...
No, he's not.
No.
He's not even going to get close to getting pinned or submitted. That's not happening.
No, but it would be very interesting, and it would be something that I wouldn't mind seeing.
I mean, I'm not going to be mad at that, but that's mail call. You got questions for us, you send them to us at our Twitter handles, at John Alba, at JuggleMac, at JTPruitt25, at the LTG Podcast, at Wrestle_React. We'll answer them, just like we just did.
Boom.
Twitter Fist.
We got a couple more minutes here. Time for the top five. So good. Top 5 is brought to you by Squared Circle Entertainment, Facebook's go-to destination for all wrestling and sports entertainment-related talk. Just search Squared Circle Entertainment on Facebook and request your membership today. They're going to be down in Dallas for WrestleMania week, so if you're hanging around, go hit them up. I'll tell you what, Rob Soma Jr. over there, that guy has all the... He always finds a way to meet up with these superstars.
He does, actually.
So if you're like looking to hang out with like Paige at WrestleMania,
yeah, he's always.
It's because he says he's the cousin of The Rock because he looks sort of like The Rock, and then he gets in.
So he can just kind of get in. He's like The Rock with a little bit of a gray beard, and that's kind of cool.
Well, The Rock colors his, so.
It's what? Are you serious?
What?
I'm just kidding. What?
Wait, we didn't talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin on BuzzFeed. That was pretty fantastic.
Oh, that was great.
I feel like this is going to give you some sugar diabetes. Oh, that's a refreshing beverage.
I'd call this the sugary dog poop.
Hey, thank you for that. Top 5.
All right, so this week, the top 5 is going to be from the end of tonight's show to WrestleMania, 5 things you want to see happen. I'll quickly say my number 5. I want Triple H to just go full-blown heel because it's a last-ditch effort for this Roman Reigns stuff. Because, he has to be, when I say full-blown heel, it has to be to the level of what was going on with Daniel Bryan in 2014 where he handcuffed Daniel Bryan and beat him into a pulp.
It's got to be the cerebral assassin again.
And Doug's shaking his head.
I'm shaking my head because in what world is that crap going to work now?
I'm just saying.
What world will that work to get heat on him?
It's a last-ditch effort.
If he handcuffs Roman Reigns to the ring and beats him mercilessly,
look, it's not
the crowd will go ape.
But you have to. But if you're going to force this down people's throat where Roman Reigns is going to be the guy, which we very much believe is going to be the case, you have to try something. You can't have Trips just being a tweener.
The only logical thing is Roman heel, period.
But it's not happening right now. There's no indication.
I know it's not, which is why none of this is going to work until after WrestleMania. It's not.
Anyway, what do you guys have for your 5?
Spoiler, everyone boos tonight.
JT, what do you got for 5?
So, I would really like to see, they're trying to make this, WrestleMania be a very, very big deal. I want to see them use their talent in the right way, and what I mean by that is I want to see them use their legends in a sense that they did it at 30. We were all in 30, and when Hogan came out and cut that little botch promo, it was great. Austin came out, it went nuts. Rock came out, it went even more nuts. I want to see something of that line so they actually use these people to the advantage that they have to build WrestleMania properly.
Doug?
Well, with people like Stone Cold and them talking about they're going to be there, I'm sure we'll see
I know.
more stars coming on Raw to try to build this thing up.
Yep.
I want to see, more than anything, there are 4 things that are more than this one that I want to see happen. I want to see The Undertaker on Raw tomorrow night. Yeah. I want to see The Undertaker start building towards his match the night after Fastlane. I want to see it begin, and I want him to be the one that's supposed to get this award, this Vincent J. McMahon award. And I want Cena to come out either super pissed off that it's not him, or blah blah blah. Happen. But however they're gonna turn. I just think Cena's got to, there's got to be an edge to Cena for this match if it's gonna be Cena.
And I'm okay with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm okay with that too. That's what I'm saying. I want to see it. That's my number 5 thing.
My number 4, I want something meaningful for Dean Ambrose. I want something meaningful, and they've got him in something meaningful right now, and I just don't feel very confident that it's going to...
Funny you should say that, because that is my number 4 as well. I want Dean Ambrose to have a meaningful feud or a meaningful spot on the WrestleMania card because he is so hot and so deserving, and I want him to get rid of the wacky line, but that's not going to happen. But... I kind of feel bad for the guy. He just is being overlooked and being pushed back down the card, and I want to see him break out.
Number 4, I want to see the teasery towards the return of Cody Rhodes start happening on TV, so people can actually get behind him.
It looks like they're going to do Amel and him again.
I know, and then Amel should finally kill off the Stardust character, and boom, Cody Rhodes should be back. We know, like my buddy from WWE has said, they are already planning and some creative for Cody Rhodes, and of course he's just trolling about it on Twitter. He's showed some new gear, all that kind of stuff on there. So I want to see Cody on. I want to see this. I want to see it start to build on TV because I want people to actually care about Cody Rhodes coming back.
Well, you're well, there goes Cody Rhodes. Anyway,
Total Leaders reference.
3. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. We know he's going to be facing Nakamura. Spoiler alert. We know he's facing Nakamura in a relatively meaningless but awesome match at NXT TakeOver Dallas. So let's get him on the main roster for this Kevin Owens.
Let's go!
The stars have aligned. They have aligned. Owens has the title. They set the seeds at the Rumble.
Yep.
It's there.
Yep.
Doug? JT?
JT.
Me. My number 3 is I want to see Taker on TV a lot leading up to Mania. I mean, not just a 1 or 2 appearances. I want to see him a lot, featured a lot, especially if they get the ball rolling with whatever they are doing with him leading into Mania. It has to start tomorrow night and build.
I agree, very much so. 'Tis why I said it.
Yes.
I like the way you think. My number 3 would be, again, it can't be said more, but Dean Ambrose needs something better to do. We have no idea if he loses this match tonight where he'll be. We already just said that we think he may be in the Battle Royal, which makes 0 sense to me.
Logic.
This is the guy that fans have been most clamoring for since the fall of your top guys like Daniel Bryan and John Cena out and Cesaro out, and Kevin Owens is getting over more, but Dean Ambrose is the guy who has been the fan favorite. So I want to see something with him, that's not just fallen to the wayside. Even though we've already seen 2 weeks of stifling. I don't want to see that again.
My number 2. Give me something with The Rock that we can push on television, not just have him show up the week before Mania.
Yep.
He's got to make at least 3 appearances on the way to Mania.
I agree, especially if he's wrestling a match.
I don't think he's wrestling, but
I said if.
But if he does, yes,
he
I
gets
agree.
the clearance.
If he does, he has to make at least 3 appearances. JT.
I want to see AJ Styles featured in a very meaningful feud high on the Mania card. Because the guy can work. He's great. Great look. He's over. Everybody loves him so far. And I'm a fan, so that's why I want to see it.
Yeah, but they don't want none.
Which is already on Google Play, by the way, and I've been listening to it constantly. It's great.
My number 2. I want to see my boy Sami Zayn hit the main roster and do this program with Kevin Owens like I've been clamoring for since he made his debut on the main roster in May and then got injured. I said Royal Rumble, check. I see title on the line. Looks like it could be a check. I'm hoping this happens. They're going to be giving a farewell to him after TakeOver, so
yep.
All about it. He could work TakeOver on Saturday and then WrestleMania on Sunday and have an amazing weekend.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man.
Absolutely.
I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it.
My number 1, I want John Cena and The Undertaker. Simply put, I want it. I will be exponentially more excited for the WrestleMania card with John Cena and The Undertaker as a main event match, because it's a match that I can't positively tell you who will win.
Yep, I can.
We know that it will be a great storytelling match. I want to see it.
Yep, I agree. I want to see it too. My number 1 is I want to see a bad you-know-what Samoan, not even a full heel turn, but
You
just...
could say ass.
Sorry, well, too late. So a badass Samoan, a semi heel turn, not even a full heel turn, but I want to see him break out of his shell and hopefully, knock on wood, the crowd gets behind him a little bit with Triple H being a full-out heel. That's gonna be hard to do.
I've got something good to say after this, but go ahead, Doug. Finish up this top 5 here.
JT, that's not happening.
I know.
But my number one thing is not a semi. It is a full heel turn for Roman Reigns, and that I'm giving myself all the way to the end of WrestleMania. If the plan is going forward, I want to see the Authority end. And on top of that, it's a two-pronged deal. We're going back to the 2 prongs. We're going back to them. It's a 2-pronged deal. I want Authority to end, and I want Roman Reigns to be the heel champion at the end of WrestleMania, with Dean Ambrose, his opponent, as a face.
So, Doug has put his input in. A couple things I want to share real quick here before we head off the air. Renee Young just revealed that tonight Brie Bella will be wearing Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania 30 shin pads.
God almighty.
The Brody ones?
The furry ones.
Yeah, Brody.
And then I saw a great tweet that said if Brie Bella wins tonight, she has to go through Randy Orton and Batista in the main event. But that was just a little, just
a little mania humor.
Just a little mania humor.
A little mania humor for you.
Another episode of the LTG podcast in the books. This one live again. If you're listening to this after Fastlane, you can tell us how we did on our predictions. If we did well, great. If we didn't, then not so much, I guess. And by the way, Acer asking us, will this year's Fastlane live up to how great last year's was? Last year's was not very good. It had a good
main event was good.
But outside of the main event, it was a pretty bad card. Remember how Goldust beat Stardust? Yeah, no, you didn't.
No, you don't.
I completely forgot about that.
The debut of the sleeveless Stardust outfit. I remember that. Listen, this card on paper looks like it's going to be really, really good. It looks like it's going to be a good show. So let's get off of here. Let's turn it on. Let's get some drinks. Let's get some food in us, and let's enjoy tonight.
Swig a beer for the working man.
Absolutely. Have yourself a birthday teeny, and always remember that there's one more thing to always keep in mind.
Hey, Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell. We're out of here. Straight to hell.
All right, that does it for this week's episode, guys. Thanks for watching us. You can go now and head over to the WWE Network, available for $9.99, and if you want to look at my Adam's apple for a couple more seconds, you can.
$9.99, Michael.
Billy Gunn, Billy Gunn got a good laugh at me at my expense again.
Were you about to say Billy Buns?
No, I was not. But Billy had some. Let me tell you, he had some things to say about NXT that he wasn't too crazy about. Yeah. So if you reach out to Billy Gunn, go ahead and ask him about End Zone Cast. See what he thinks.
He's old school. We don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you ain't kidding about that. All right, guys, good stuff. And make sure you share this ish when it's up.
True that.
For sure.
All righty.
Hey, deuces.
Later.
Folks.